How many times should you call a prospect back? Well, that's a question that's on tons of business owners' minds, and that is the subject of today's video. How many times should you call a prospect? Hey everyone, it's Tom Jacobs. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. If you are new here, this channel is all about presentation, performance, and profits to make your business a lot better, especially for the solopreneur and solo practitioner. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button right there so that you get notified every time new content is dropped here on the channel. And I am adding new content each and every week, every Tuesday and Friday at 12 noon Eastern. Let's jump right into the topic at hand. How many times should you follow up with a prospect? Now, if you were the Wolf of Wall Street, it would be until they buy or die. But I'm guessing that if you're watching this channel that you are not part of that whole make them buy until they die type of philosophy in your business, and you want to actually have a little softer approach to sales. But that doesn't mean that you are sitting by and waiting for people to take action, because everybody's busy these days and it's not always a top priority. There needs to be a process in place for you to follow up and follow through with those prospects that have engaged with you and have expressed interest in joining your program. So what is the answer? How many times should you follow up with a prospect? Well, the short answer is about 11 times. And why do I say 11 times? Well, over the last year, my staff has made hundreds of thousands of phone calls. And it has been taken an average of 11 times to get somebody on the phone to have a conversation about scheduling an appointment. Yes, 11 times. And these are with people that have expressed interest already. They filled out a form on a website or they attended a webinar and they said, hey, I'm kind of interested in learning more about the service that you have to offer. So it's really interesting that it takes 11 times on average to connect with people. Well, if you don't have a system in place to follow up and follow through with those prospects, then it's going to be kind of easy for a lot of leads to slip through the cracks. And I don't want that to happen to you, because the way that we build a business is by engaging with our audience. Now, the system that I use to keep track of where everybody is in the pipeline is, coincidentally enough, called Pipedrive. So it helps me keep track of where everybody is in the sales process or the sales pipeline. Ideally, though, when a lead comes into your business, you are connecting with those leads within 20 minutes. That is when you need to strike. You know, the old saying, strike when the iron is hot. When somebody is expressing interest in working with you, there needs to be almost an immediate response from you. Not a lot of people are picking up the phone and calling your office. A lot of times they see your ad on Facebook or see your website, and then they just put in their information and wait for your phone call. And if you're not calling them back immediately, guess what? They're going to the next person in Google to figure out how they can solve the problem that they're looking to solve. I put together a little follow-up, follow-through process. I'd love for you to have that. I put a link down below in the description so you can just go ahead and grab that. And it kind of walks you through the process for the first 3 days of following up with people. Because if you don't have a process already, that's the first step, is to establish a process in place to make sure that you are following up with people. Now, I said, ideally, you need to be connecting with people within 20 minutes of them filling out a form and expressing interest in working with you. Now, that's during normal call times, like 9 a.m. in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, when people are surfing the web and filling out forms. Now, sometimes you aren't working during that time, and certainly I wouldn't expect a lot of people to wait by the phone or wait by their email, waiting for a text message or an email that says, hey, you have a new lead, and then following up with that lead. That just doesn't make a lot of efficiency sense. That's why I set up the Business Lead Maximizer program in the first place, is to assist my clients in following up with those leads all hours of the day. Not night, just during the day, during normal call times. The problem becomes juggling actually fulfilling what you do for your clients and actually practicing and following up with leads and growing your business and growing your practice. You have to be able to balance both of those. So here are my 3 tips to help you follow up more effectively with leads if you're not going to outsource it. You need to set aside 30 minutes to an hour each and every day to make phone calls. And I actually suggest that you change the time of day each day of the week. Don't do it Monday morning. Nobody's going to answer their phone calls on Monday morning. Do it like Monday afternoon, and then don't do it Friday afternoon. So Monday mornings off the table, Friday afternoons off the table. But choose 30 minutes to an hour, just depends on how many leads you have coming into your business, and set that aside for your power hour. That's why I call it the power hour. And you're going to dial for dollars during your power hour. And you just have your list of people that are due to be called that day because you have a system in place to know who to call and where they are in the process, and you just follow up. The second is just make sure you have a system in place to make it easy for you to just sit down and dial for dollars. If you have to sift and sort through pieces of Post-it notes or a message here and an email there, and it's all scattered, it's not going to be very efficient. So have a system in place, whether that's a Google spreadsheet or like Pipedrive. Have a system in place so you know who to call and when to call them. And the third tip is to hire somebody to do it for you so that you can spend more time delivering your services and doing marketing and delivering content and less time on the phones. When you have somebody else doing it for you, they can focus on doing that one task and get it done consistently and persistently. And there you go. Not only did I answer the question, how many times does it take to get a prospect on the phone, which is 11, by the way, but I also gave you a few tips to make that a lot easier to follow up and follow through with your prospects. If you found this video helpful, just go ahead and give it a good old thumbs up, make some comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I've also put together a couple other playlists for you. If you're new to the channel, you can just get started by watching a few of those playlists and see what this is all about and think about subscribing. I'm going to put that playlist right there. And until next time, you have a great day.